It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Time of Your Life was a huge hit for Green Day, the rock band that this weekend has the #1 album in the country. After years in the business, Green Day continues to make records and news. Tracy Smith has a summer song.
Call it punk rock for grown-ups. In an age where many rock bands have the lifespan of a butterfly, Green Day has gone the distance, and they've done it by going their own way. They've sold roughly 50 million albums, filled stadiums worldwide, and filled the airwaves with a brash, aggressive, and often politically charged sound.
Don't wanna be an American idiot.
They've also created some very unpunk pop classics.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Some of which have found their way into soundtracks, including one of the final episodes of Seinfeld.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Green Day began as a grade school friendship between lead singer Billie Joe Armstrong and bassist Mike Dirnt, two working-class kids from refinery towns near Oakland, California.
So the two of you bonded over music, started a band.
Yeah, I think we ended up playing our first show together. I think it was 7th grade at like the middle school dance or something like that. So and it ended up being really fun.
The gigs got bigger, and by the early 90s, the band was touring nonstop, with drummer Trey Cool's father driving the bus.
What was it like having your chaperone dad with you on tour?
It was fine until he started like crossing the line of like being a father and being a bus driver. Like he would complain about dirty socks and stuff. And it's like, dude, we're a punk band. We are dirty socks.
By 1994, they had a new label and a new album, Dookie, a major milestone in a journey that would take them out of dirty socks and into the rock music stratosphere.
You know, Dookie came out, it was like the most dramatic thing that ever happened to us at the time.
You know, we got a roadie.
Everything was new. Every day, everything was new.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once?
It was new, all right. Dookie went on to sell more than 10 million copies, and almost overnight, Green Day became the band of a generation. Irreverent, even obnoxious punks with the smarts and skills to get away with it. But between shows, the three band members lead relatively quiet lives.
So how long have you had this place?
We're going on 7 years.
Mike Dirnt, who at one time supported himself as a cook, is now part owner of Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe, named for a song by The Clash.
I grew up hanging out in coffee shops at, 1 and 2 in the morning, and I thought it'd be really cool to have a place that was open 7 days a week where you could get a beer or coffee or, and then also bring your kid in and not have to wait an hour and a half for a waffle. So.
Now, of course, getting a good table is easy. Spending time on tour, away from his two children, a bit tougher.
It could be worse. I could have to go overseas and go to war and not come back at all, And I think as long as you can keep those things in mind, you're going to wake up on the right side of the bed with a purpose. So.
Do you always have this positive of an attitude?
No, but got me on a good morning. I've had my coffee already.
Do you have a lot of time these days to hang out, to go to bars, to enjoy your friends and your family?
Yeah, it depends.
Billie Joe Armstrong, who, like all members of Green Day, still lives in the East Bay, is also the father of two.
In a certain way, I almost think of myself as being kind of a conservative parent, you know, believe it or not, in a lot of
Billy
ways.
Joe Armstrong is a conservative parent?
Well, yeah. I mean,
How?
there's different sides of everybody. So.
How are you a conservative parent?
I think I just worry just like any other parent does. You worry about education. You worry about where they get their information from. You want to monitor as much as you can, but you want to allow as much freedom as you can. And, you know, there's certain things that they say that you never thought would come out of your baby's mouth. You know, it's, you know, but it's, you know, it's a trip. It's all part of it, you know.
You mentioned education. You dropped out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain that to your kids? What do you say about education?
You know, my oldest son, you know, I talked to him about it recently. I said I'm the luckiest bastard on the planet. You know, I mean, for what I've been able to do and be a musician, something I never take for granted. You know, so and it doesn't happen to everybody because, you know, my kids like music too. So
it's kind of like, you know, yeah, it worked for me, but that doesn't mean that it'll necessarily work for you.
It's not a family business. You know, so it's not going to, like, you know, suddenly, like, you know, take over at the office or something. You know.
Or be out on stage playing tambourine with you guys?
No, for God forbid.
Armstrong himself took to music early, cutting his first record at age 5.
With a smile and a song, look for love, look for love, look for love, look for love. And when you're not,
You had the sweetest little voice.
Did you hear the song?
Yes.
How the hell did you hear the song?
It's on the internet.
Oh, well, there you go.
look for love, look for love, look for love.
He's come a long way since Look for Love. Armstrong has written the lyrics to a number of hit singles, including the platinum record, Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
Some believed it was a reference to the attacks on 9/11, but Armstrong says it's more personal.
It was about my father. He died in September of 1982, and that was the first time I ever tackled anything that had to do with my dad passing a long time ago. And so it was kind of awkward. And actually, of all the songs I've written, that was the one song that I surprised myself because I'd never sang a song about him before.
That's how Billy started to reach into depths of himself. That was, you know, it's scary and beautiful at the same time.
The song was on the 2004 album American Idiot, a rallying cry against the political status quo.
To what appeared American idiot, one nation controlled by the media. Information age of hysteria. It's going out to idiot America.
Written as a cohesive rock opera, the album was a big departure for Green Day and a commercial and critical smash.
There's a succession of albums, and then comes the, and I've heard this term over and over again, masterpiece, American Idiot. What do you think of that term?
It's not really strong enough of a term to describe such a opus of sorts.
American Idiot won 2 Grammys and sold 12 million copies worldwide. But the band says it was only a prelude to their latest effort, 21st Century Breakdown, an even more ambitious concept album that is, right now, #1 in America.
So how would you describe 21st Century Breakdown?
It's chaos and desperation, and, you know, there's a angry mob, there's a city on fire while you're making out with your girlfriend in the middle of it. I mean, that's the best way that I can really describe it.
Some of the album's language and adult references earned it a parental advisory sticker and put Green Day at odds with Walmart. The nation's largest retailer won't stock any CD with such a label. True to their own convictions, Green Day has refused to provide an edited version, saying there's nothing dirty about the record.
It tries to kind of make sense of an incredibly chaotic world and desperate world that we live in, you know, just to try to make some sense of it.
In some ways, they may have built their success on being angry at the world, but the guys in Green Day seem pretty happy with their place in it.
At the end of the day, if you follow the music, it'll take you on a really, really great journey.